it's interesting to me that a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans are looking at this upcoming fight between Pacquiao and Bradley as a foregone conclusion. They seem to believe that Pacquiao is just going to walk through Tim Bradley and that he'll actually knock him out this time. And I find that curious, man. I find that strange. I mean, it's obviously possible that he could knock Bradley out, but all we have to go on is the first fight. We've seen what Pacquiao and Bradley are like in the ring together. And in the first fight, although I believe Pacquiao won the fight, he didn't look good. He did struggle with Bradley's speed, his movement, his boxing ability. And this was a Bradley who did have 2 injured ankles. And a lot of Pacquiao fans want to deny this. They want to say, oh, there was nothing wrong with his ankles. No, there was something wrong with his ankles, right? He had 2 injured ankles. He definitely did. A scan after the fight proved that his legs were injured. Now, I've heard some Pacquiao fans say, okay, his ankles were injured, but it didn't affect his performance in any way. Again, I find this attitude to be delusional. How could it not affect his performance? They say, oh, well, he jumped up on the ropes at the end of the fight. Okay, well, there's something called adrenaline, right? There are people who I've seen, witnessed personally, get stabbed and continue fighting in a street fight because of the adrenaline is pumping, right? Adrenaline can do a lot in a boxing match. If you've got an injury or whatever, the adrenaline can carry you through. I've seen guys with broken hands in boxing matches fight for 12 rounds. Okay? Muhammad Ali fought with a broken jaw against Ken Norton. Many fighters have gone through. Danny Williams, British heavyweight, fought with a dislocated shoulder. Okay? I believe also Jean Pascal did. So adrenaline can carry fighters through. It doesn't mean that just because they're able to still throw the right hand even though it's broken, that it's not affecting them. They may not be able to throw it with the full power because it's broken and because it hurts every time they throw it. Same with Tim Bradley and his injured ankles. He did have injured ankles in that fight. Now, I'm not saying that Manny Pacquiao can't improve from the performance. Maybe he's learned from the first fight and maybe he's better motivated and better trained, and maybe he's got his fire back. Maybe he won't fade down the stretch like he did in the first Tim Bradley fight, because Pacquiao did fade in the later rounds of that fight. He wasn't the normal Manny Pacquiao we're used to. But then again, maybe that was because he wasn't landing the clean punches on Tim Bradley that he'd landed on previous opponents. If you saw Manny Pacquiao against Miguel Cotto, where he managed to stop Miguel Cotto late in the fight, he was landing hard shots on Cotto all the way through that fight. You know, and when your fists are touching the guy's head all the time, it's easier to motivate yourself to throw more punches because you know that sooner or later, this guy has to break. Whereas with Tim Bradley, he just wasn't landing the clean shots. He seemed a bit frustrated to me. Bradley was sticking and moving. Again, I believe Pacquiao won the fight. I'm not disputing the decision. I believe Pacquiao definitely won the first fight fairly comfortably. And was very unfortunate, to say the least, to not get the decision. But I just think that Pacquiao fans are seriously underestimating Bradley, and we'll see what happens in the fight, but I don't think it's going to go as easy as a lot of Pacquiao fans seem to think. Now, I could be wrong. He might end up sparking Bradley out. Certainly, I've been concerned about Bradley's chin since that Provodnikov fight. Now, Marquez didn't manage to expose it, but as far as I saw in that fight, Marquez never really landed with full power against Tim Bradley. He caught Bradley with a few little shots here and there, but he never really managed to land clean on Bradley the way he landed on Pacquiao, for example. So I'm still, to me, the jury is still out on Tim Bradley's chin after that Provodnikov fight, because that was shocking to see him hurt as badly as he was. And I always felt that from the first fight, from the first Pacquiao-Bradley fight, that a rematch would be closer. Because as I keep saying, I believe Pacquiao won the first fight, but I believe the rematch will be a lot closer and more competitive, until I saw that Provodnikov fight. And then I thought, maybe Pacquiao can knock Bradley out. You know, maybe he can. But from a technical point of view, I see Bradley causing Pacquiao plenty of problems all over again. That's what I see. That is what I see. And interestingly enough, there's some footage online on YouTube you can go and watch of Manny Pacquiao sparring Sean Porter. I believe it's Sean Porter is sparring. Is it Sean Porter or is it Kareem Mayfield? I can't remember which one it is, but he's one of those guys, and they're giving Manny Pacquiao a lot of problems in sparring. A lot of problems. And both of those guys are a similar stature to Bradley, both fast, quick feet, quick hands, and they're giving Pacquiao a lot of problems in sparring. So I just think stylistically, Bradley is just a difficult matchup for Pacquiao. And you know what? Pacquiao deserves a lot of credit for taking this fight. Because really and truly, he's chasing a Mayweather fight. He wants that fight against Floyd. But yet he's willing to take on Bradley, which is potentially risking that fight against Floyd. As far as I'm concerned, because I don't see this as an easy fight for Pacquiao at all. So Pacquiao deserves a lot of credit for taking on Tim Bradley. He could have taken on another Brandon Rios type fighter and given himself a much easier payday and taken much less of a risk and tried to secure a Mayweather fight. But nah, he's taking on a guy who he didn't look good against last time. A guy who does have a lot of ability. A guy who will be coming in with 2 healthy feet this time. I mean, he came in with 2 healthy feet last time, but he injured him during the fight. But, you know, we're assuming that he'll not re-injure his feet in this fight. So Pacquiao deserves a lot of credit for this. But I just think that the Pacquiao fans, a lot of the Pacquiao fans are a bit deluded here. And again, this is something that a lot of fanatical boxing fans tend to do, is they tend to ridicule the opponent of their favorite fighter. And in this case, it's Tim Bradley. A lot of them are saying, oh, Bradley's going to get knocked out. Bradley's a fraud. Bradley's this, that, and the other. But when you ridicule Bradley like that, what you're actually doing is you're degrading Pacquiao as well, because you're saying that Pacquiao struggled last time with a guy who's a fraud. He failed to knock out a guy who's a nobody as far as you're concerned, a guy who's overrated. Pacquiao failed to knock him out. So what does that say about Pacquiao? You know, so, you know, you guys need to stop trying to degrade people's, you know, fighters' opponents all the time. Just because you didn't like the result of the first fight, stop degrading him. All right, Tim Bradley's a very good fighter. Manny Pacquiao will tell you Tim Bradley's a very good fighter. And Manny Pacquiao's taking him 100% serious. He ain't underestimating him, even if you are. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to stop procrastinating here. I think that Tim Bradley Pacquiao, the rematch, is a very interesting fight. I think both guys deserve a lot of credit, especially Pacquiao, because at this stage it's a bigger risk for him than it is for Tim Bradley, because Tim Bradley's not the cash cow that Manny Pacquiao is at the moment. So, yeah, drop your comments below. How do you feel about the whole situation? How do you see the Bradley Pacquiao rematch going? Do you, like me, agree that it's a risk for Pacquiao, an unnecessary risk that he could have avoided, and that he deserves credit for taking it? Or do you totally disagree with that viewpoint? Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. This is Hatman. I'm out.